right, out here riding the waves on beautiful Lake Chateau, North Georgia, southern North Carolina. We're sitting on the North Carolina side, and we're sitting here today thinking about our cook for tomorrow. We're gonna do something new. It's a brisket. I've never cooked a brisket before, but we went out to our friends at Brasstown Beef up in southern North Carolina, right on the farm, picked out our cut, brought it home, and tomorrow we're gonna cook it up for you. We're gonna see how to do this. I've watched some videos. I'm gonna try some of what they've said. I'm gonna try some of my own style. I'll tell you all about it, and we'll give you an honest assessment of how it tastes, how it looks, how it is. I hope you enjoy it. We'll talk to you next tomorrow. All right, gang. Still the day before our cook. We've got a beautiful day here, Memorial Day weekend. I think we're gonna have a nice one tomorrow as well. I'm gonna be up early starting this cook, so I'm doing a little prep work now. I'm going ahead and getting the grill ready, putting my wood in there. I'm gonna go with some hickory and pecan. I like to do a combination of woods sometimes. It gives a little different flavor to it, and this is a combination that I have found works really, really well. You'll notice I'm putting the wood at the bottom, and on top I will put on the natural lump charcoal. I've found that actually extends the life of the wood and allows it to smoke for a longer period of time on these long cooks. It just smolders underneath of the charcoals, and it seems to work really, really well. So I just wanted to share that with you before we get this thing rolling tomorrow morning. Hopefully it's going to be a good cook. Hopefully we're going to have a good product at the end, and hopefully you enjoy this. Have a great weekend. Morning, gang. It is bright and early. We're going to get our fire going this morning. Handy dandy grill gun. It's getting the thing going really quite fast and easy. Get it up to temperature quicker this way. Get our meat on so we can eat it in a normal hour. So here's our brisket. It's a 9.5 pounder. We're going to do a little bit of trimming on it, get it ready, and then we're going to apply our rub. So we'll be back in a second to talk to you about that. When you're trimming this up, you want to make sure you're taking off any of this fat that's really kind of a hard fat, because that won't render down. And you want to get off anything that might look like or be like silver skin. You got to get down to the meat so that the rub we put on is going to penetrate in and actually absorb and provide flavor. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll be back with you shortly on that. All right, good morning, gang. So we got it trimmed up. You see we got most of the fat off the top of that. Now we're gonna season it. We actually already did the bottom side. I didn't think I needed to show you both. I like to start with Worcestershire as a little bit of a, provide some wetness and a way for the rub to bind onto the meat, hold onto the meat a little better. And you know, this is beef, so Worcestershire always goes really good with it. And today we're going to try a little bit of this. It's a new rub I picked up, actually where we got the brisket, called Bullshit. It's got everything, according to them, that you need to cook a great piece of meat, particularly beef. And we're going to try a little bit of that, and then I've got separately some cracked pepper, sea salt, and garlic over here. So between the two, we're going to have this really rubbed up, very thick and good. This is a long cook again, and a lot of times your rub will come off over time, and it's a huge piece of meat, so you want to put plenty of seasoning on it so that it actually can penetrate in and stay in. So there we go with that. That's our Bullshit rub. And then cracked pepper, sea salt, garlic, a few other secret ingredients in here. We'll get this thing all ready to go. Fire's over there going. We're gonna have it up to temp. We're gonna try to cook today at about 275 for most of our cook. We may start this at 250 just to get it going and let it build to 275. But that's it. We got it rubbed up pretty good here. We'll let that rest a few minutes while our fire gets hot, and we'll be back with you when we're putting it on the grill. All right, so we're getting hot now. What we want to do is adjust our airflow on this. I usually like to have the bottom be about 2.5 inches open. And then what we'll do is we'll control the rest of the airflow with our top daisy wheel. At the beginning, I like just to let it come up, let the smoke start rolling. Now we're doing low and slow. So what we're gonna do here is get our coals down a little bit. We're going to get our heat deflectors in here so that we got no direct heat on this fire. There we go. And you always want to kind of make sure they close really good, because heat actually will sneak through a small crack there if you let it. And then this is our little rack that we'll put our pan with water on it. I like to use a pan with water as it helps control the temperature and it provides moisture throughout your cook. So we're gonna put that in here now. Just have a little bit of water right now, but once we get the temperature, I'll add water right before we put on the brisket. So this is it. The grill is now ready to go. And we'll have our meat on and smoking here soon. And I think at that point, we're gonna go take a nap before the rest of this thing goes. All right, gang, we're gonna get this on. We're at about 250. We'll let it start there and build up to 275. One of the things I learned is you wanna make sure, well, there's two purposes of this wood. This wood is not to smoke or anything because it's above our water, but it is to help make sure that all our juices roll off of our meat. And if you had a bigger brisket, it would also serve to make it fit a little better if your grill size wasn't quite big enough. I don't have that problem here, but we do want to make sure that the juices roll off of our meat and don't pool up. Wherever it pools up, that's where you'll have a different temperature gradient and it can change the meat in that section. So we got this on. We're gonna let her go and smoke and do its thing. We'll check on this in about 2.5 hours and see where we're at. Be back with you then. All right, gang, we're about 2.5 hours in, sitting nicely about 275, almost 280 degrees. Let's have a first look and see how things are here. Oh man, we are coming along very nicely. She looks beautiful. We're gonna let her keep going. Check it in another hour and we'll spray it down with a little bit of water. All right, hang tight. All right, we're about a little over 6 hours into this cook. We've got a really good bark going here now, and our temperature gauge says we're at 170, so 171 actually. We're gonna pull this off and we're gonna wrap it now. That'll help us get through the next part of the cook a little faster, and it'll provide a nice juicy taste and texture to it. Look at the bottom side there, it's looking great. Now we cooked it so far with the fat side down to protect the bottom of the meat. From here on out, we're going to wrap it. Oh, that's good. And leave the fat on the top side. Which will allow it to basically baste the rest of the meat through the rest of this cook. Put it back on here, let it go. Probably need a couple more hours, and then we'll let it rest, and then we'll feast on it this afternoon. We've got a beautiful day, Memorial Day. We're gonna go hit the boat and be back soon. All right, we're getting late in the day. The Indy 500's on its way to being done. There's about 10 more laps to go. We're hoping to time getting this off of the out of our pit here about the same time. We're probing it close to 190. I just wanted to show you here that, you know, you don't have to unwrap it or anything, but it's good to also check how hard is it to get your probe into the meat. If it's sliding in easy, and by easy I mean, imagine sticking this into a jar of peanut butter. If it's about like that, you are pretty much there. So one of the things with barbecues, it's not always what the temperature probe says. Sometimes you go by feel. We're getting very, very close. So I'm gonna let this carry on for another half hour or so. Hopefully we'll time it pretty close to when the race ends. We'll then let it rest while we take another boat ride. So far nobody's sunburned, so we're doing pretty good, and we'll be back with you then. All right, here we are for the big reveal. We lost our videographers to the lake, so you didn't get to see me bring it off of the grill. But we've done that. We've been resting it for about 45 minutes now. We're just gonna see what it looks like. We'll take it inside, we'll carve it up, and we'll see what it tastes like. I don't know, Trevor, if you want to zoom in here. Seem to have pretty good wetness on it, which suggests to me that it's got some, oh, yeah, very tender, very good, I think. Let's get it inside and cut it up and see how it goes. All right, here we are for the big cut into this. When you look at a brisket, there's two parts. There's the flat and there's the point. The point is what you would make burn ends off of if you were going to go ahead make burn ends. We're not going to do that tonight. The flat's here, the point's here. We're going to just separate it right here just to see what it kind of looks like and whether or not we got it overdone or juicy or what. We did pull it. I don't know if we got enough light to see in there, Trevor, but it's pretty dang juicy on the point part for sure. And kind of pull a party down here. So that's it. When you carve a brisket, you want to do it across the grain. It looks like the grain's rolling this way. So we're going to do it this way to carve our slices. Let's see what we got. I think on the ends we got it a little overdone, but I don't know, for a first cook, seems like it's gonna be all right. I've got 4 carnivores here. We're gonna have them try a bite. Let me just do a big chunk here. See if you can see how that looks, Trevor, up close. Nice and juicy. And bite for you. Bite for you. Kind of hot, guys. Bite, bite. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
Delish.
Nice glasses.
Definitely juicy.
I think it turned out pretty good. We're going to eat the rest of the meal. We'll come back with a wrap up and see how it goes from there. All right, we have here our food evaluators. These are 4 carnivores that are expert meat eaters. And Tyler, do you want to start and let us know what you thought of the cook?
I'll start it off. I've been eating his food for 20 years. I'd say this is definitely not a disgrace to his cooking. He did a great job. Maybe a little overcooked in some parts, but overall I'd give it an 8 out of 10. The taste was great.
Wow.
And little room for improvement, which is good for his first brisket. You always want to shoot to aim higher. So,
yeah. All right, I like that. We like honest evaluations here.
honest evaluation.
All right, how about it, Hannah?
Wow. It was really good. Brisket's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my favorite briskets.
And this qualified, it's good enough.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it.
One of the best I've had.
I like that. Trevor, what about you?
I had 3 plates, so that's all that needs to be said.
How about you, Miss Becca?
I had mine in a salad, and it was awesome.
All right.
I thought the end of it with lots of pepper on it was delicious.
See, that's the flat that Tyler says was a little overdone.
And I really enjoyed it.
Okay, well, as the cook, I agree that it was a little overdone on the flat, but the point was outstanding. You chop it all up. This is our leftovers we're going to be eating on tomorrow. It all comes together pretty nicely, and it's a good meal for all. Take care. Hope you enjoyed.